Hey, Hodies. Welcome back. Or welcome to the show. I made a show. Anyway, planning robs you of the moment. Doing something that you planned can rob you of accessing what you can tap into in the moment. And not to say that planning isn't a great thing, because it is and it can be. But man, imagine just eliminating that. Maybe that would be off balance. Maybe you would feel off balance. Or maybe it's right for you. I think it's clear at this point that we all operate different, and we should operate different. Because, for example, I was thinking about this 30 minutes ago. I thought about it. For some reason, it came in my head as I opened my door. But I guess I was just thinking about how people... So I have a line in my song that says, in one of my songs that says, I don't care to debate. That doesn't mean that I won't. It just means I don't care to. I don't care to spend my time doing that. Again, that doesn't mean that it won't ever happen or that I'm against it. And I was really mindful of how I worded that. But isn't it funny how you'll say that and people go, oh, they'll try to argue the benefits. And I'm like, I didn't say I was against it. That's why it's hard to talk to people. Anyway, but then it came in. Sorry if you're hearing noise. I'm like in my chair, just trying to adjust. And I'm in a different chair in a different setup, which is what I'm going to get to. But debating, I love that some people feel called to do that. For example, I'm vegan, and so labels. It's just another name for love, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I eat what we as humans are designed to consume. I guess you could say it a lot of different ways. I would say it a lot of different ways, but some people feel called to debate about that. And the beauty of that, I mean, that can open people's hearts. And some people need to hear some things in a certain way. Some people love debating. Some people love that. Good for you. Thank you for your work. Thank you for doing you. Oh my God, this chair. Should I go get my other chair? I'm about to go get my other chair. I'm at my desk chair because I decided to switch it up today. Okay. I love how I'm not feeling I've made any cuts yet, so I want to keep that going. But I'm going to have to get my chair. We can sit in silence for a second while I get my chair. What was I going to say? I don't even remember. Okay. Oh, well, part of this was, I was going to say not intentional, but I do love audio only, like no video, when it comes to podcasts. But on occasion, video is cool too for reasons. Anyway, BRB. Be right back. My chair's right over here. Okay. I'm going to have to play Tetris. Like the first level of Tetris, where everything's at the bottom still. Oh my goodness, when was the last time you played Tetris? Oh, I'm lower. That's chill. Oh, then I'm gonna have to adjust my desk. Oh, and then I have a sit-stand desk. And it's one of the best purchases I've ever made. How is this gonna work? Hotties! Damn! This is fun. I'm showing you the reality. The reality because I think if I hold this, you're going to just hear some handling noise. Can I prevent this somehow or minimize this somehow? I typically would cut stuff like this out because a lot of people probably don't care, who really wants to hear this? Probably not that many people. But I sometimes, and I'm on both sides too. Sometimes I love it. Like if there's someone that I love listening to, I don't mind. And sometimes I enjoy like it's the reality of what you're hearing right now. And the reality of what you're hearing, it's like all this handling noise. I'm trying to adjust this little stand. Oh, interesting sounds. Okay. Let's hear that again. Hold on. Oh, okay, cool. I just wanted to hear that through a mic. You know what I'm saying? Things are different through a mic. Hold on, let me tighten this. Okay. But then sometimes if I'm listening to a podcast or whatever I'm listening to, I don't care for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whether it depends on who it is or maybe I'm seeking certain information or sometimes it's just not good. When people are not talking about anything, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just that I feel when people are just being sometimes, or maybe it's just that they're not being. I feel whether it's projection or I feel something else that they're communicating in their tone. You're saying one thing, but your tone is saying something else. You feel me, Hodies? And thank you for bearing with me with this noise, because I guess you have no other choice. But thank you. I'm going to try my best. Because I'd rather be comfortable. I'd rather, that's why even when I'm recording video, there are certain setups that I don't care for because it seems too, what's the word? It seems too, I'm trying to think, I guess like setup versus candid, but this isn't really candid, so I'm also trying not to make any cuts because I love that I don't think I've made any so far. Sometimes I think about it and I'll leave stuff in that isn't about the topic of the podcast. But then sometimes I'll leave it in because it's real. But what was I going to say? Oh, this is another reason why I cut things out, because I'm going back to what I maybe had in mind about what I wanted to talk about, or I just have to sit for a second. Because if you're not planning, you are going off of the moment, right? And it's not that I feel like it's totally robotic in a way to just, hi, let me, like spit out answers, like boom, 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 or just spit out like words or whatever, like in every like I'm not, this ain't AI, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes if I'm just going off the top, I just sit and I'll just sit for a second and just let something come to me, but then there's just silence. I wonder how long an episode would be if I kept just silence times where I do that, which is a lot of the time, because I prefer that, because I love how I keep remembering things. It's beautiful. As I was saying about sitting comfortably and preferring that, things come through better. Things are better. Because it feels like you're not really performing. It feels more authentic. You're not trying to put on And, you know, on the other hand, I see that sometimes as polished, you know, having like a super nice setup and maybe being uncomfortable in a way seems beneficial. It's so funny. I love, and I think I said this in the beginning, going off the moment, because then I haven't even talked about anything that I had in mind for this podcast. But what's so funny is what's the best is always what comes to mind right when I hit record. I start there, and then whatever comes my way, let it. That is always the best, because that's really being in the moment. And again, some of the most beautiful pieces of art, any kind of work that you do, if it's planned, that is also some of the greatest work. I got chills. I got chills. That feels like a truth. Whenever you get chills, it's so funny. It's like, that's like a sign of truth. You know, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Let's talk about what I had in mind, because sometimes you'll have a thought and it's fleeting. That's what I'm looking for. And then sometimes you'll have thoughts and feelings that you feel for a while, like a week or a month or a year. You know, and that's beautiful. So some of the things that I've been feeling lately is, well, one, I've always, for quite a long time, I've been feeling the importance of this, of change, and prioritizing that, and craving it. Because I think once you invite change in with no resistance, you start to crave it. And you start to, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say a second ago. You start to enjoy it. You start to, as opposed to avoiding it, you know? Because here's the thing, it's going to happen regardless. Change is going to occur regardless. Choose your response. So inviting that in, switching it up on the daily, like I'm doing right now. You know, on one hand, I really do love and almost prefer audio only when it comes to listening to, let's throw a label on it, a podcast. And on occasion, video is cool. But if I had to choose, this is the way. So right now, I'm sitting somewhere different than I normally do. And I have a few different mic stands. As a music artist too, it's so funny because the transition from like music to a podcast setup was it's nothing. There was no transition. Like, oh, now I'm doing a podcast. Even though I've purchased things that have helped the process, speed up the process, and that are more for that would suit a podcast. And yeah, so switching it up. it's so funny how literally sitting somewhere different, literally sitting in a different spot can inspire you. Sit somewhere different, create somewhere different, and watch what comes to you. What is that? You know how they say your environment matters? But it's even that simple shift, that simple change. People, talk about it in ways like switching up your room, like your furniture maybe, your clothing, colors affect you, change. Looks. It's so powerful. And I love how much I enjoy the change now. Not that I was ever trying to, I was like completely like on the other extreme. It just makes me laugh because I'm just picturing, I don't know, just like a skit popped in my head. Skit ideas. I can't tell you how many skit ideas come to me on the daily sometimes. That's another conversation. Period. I got to use the loo, hotties. I got to use the loo. But wow, one take? For real? Wow. Lovely. Oh my goodness. And I love just even because I don't, when a camera's in front of you, it's like obviously you, whether it's you're making eye contact or you want to look presentable or you want to have lighting on you because you're filming it. So obviously you want to be visible. Like there's so many things, right? And when that's not the case, you can close your eyes, you can turn around because you're not filming. You don't care if you're like not facing the camera because you kind of have to be visible to a camera if you're in front of it. So it's like singing into a mic. If you've noticed, whether you are one or not, singers like will close their eyes. And it's because when you shut off one of your senses, makes the others heightened in a way, you can tune in to the others more, it feels. No attention is going there, really, to the eyes. And you have more focus with the other senses, maybe. And so, yeah, I think I was just talking about, the audio and the mic. Okay, I need to use the loo. Did I use it before I recorded? Oh, no. Well, I switched the setup. I'm recording straight to Logic right now because I was using half of my setup. I don't need to explain this. I wasn't using my setup with my camera, but I was using part of that. And then I was like, wait, I can literally record straight up to my computer right now. Anyway, I might go, but look how far we've gotten. We're like, this is a whole ass episode. I mean, I could record like double. We can, but this was beautiful. Should we just end it here? We should just end it here. Hotties, thank you for joining me today. I don't want to end it. But I have so much more I want to create. And there's only so much time in the day, right? There's only so much daylight. And I do have neighbors, which is beautiful. Oh, I love seeing that as beautiful. Oh, because sometimes you'll hear noise, but that's beautiful. Instead of, I'm picturing skits. I think I saw one the other day of like upstairs, how loud your upstairs neighbors are. Oh my God, it was the funniest thing. What's his name? I don't know his name. But he's like he's really popular. Oh my God, it was great. It was great. But when you see it as, the importance of being social and being around good company or bad company, it becomes such a joyful thing. Oh, I've never said that. It's beautiful having neighbors. Ah, like it's like families in other countries, not so much in the US, but in other cultures, their families stay close always. I heard a woman speaking the other day about how she studied this for years. I think 2 years, she said. And seeing how families in other countries, just basically what I just said. And I've heard this before, how people talk about in other countries. I've seen this as well with my own eyes in other countries. Have families, they stay together. Oh, the whole time I was saying that, I had body chills. Full body chills. What does that tell us? What can that tell us? Okay, hotties, thank you for joining me today. I had fun. I love audio only. See, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I've always known that I've preferred this. And maybe I do know that it's a case-by-case thing, but even if that is the case, what was I going to say? Oh, sometimes I really do prefer video, or I'm like, no, this episode needs a video. This one does. Man, that's crazy. Sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry. Okay, hotties. I've tried to say bye like 5 times. No, probably like 3 times. All right, this is it. This is it. Do you today. Okay? Unapologetically. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare us. Okay. Love you. Talk soon.